Hey guys, welcome back to Strategy Nights. Tonight we're going to play Stellaris. I have installed the mod that was meant for the Halloween event. It spawns the Lost in the center of the galaxy, and we have to outlast them basically. So I said, why not try and outlast the Lost using our own species, humans? Well, there are two versions of humankind in the future, according to Stellaris. The first one is the United Nations of Earth. We are a representative democracy. As you can see, we have an election every 10 years, and we have an empire modifier that doesn't really matter for this playthrough. These are our civics, beacon of liberty, and idealistic foundation, which of course they have their own modifiers. Here are the main beliefs of our species: xenophile and fanatic egalitarian. All of them have their own modifiers again. And this is our species, human. We are adaptive, of course. It is a buff for habitability plus 10%, which means that we can colonize more planets than we usually could. We are also nomadic, which means we get more pop growth from immigration. And we are wasteful. No one can say we're not. And our origin is prosperous unification, which means that we just start with additional pops on our main planet, which is of course Earth, and we have two additional districts. The other version is the Commonwealth of Man. We are a military dictatorship on the planet of Unity, and our origin is the Lost Colony. So basically what happened is that our first attempt of colonizing another planet basically failed. We did manage to send the colony ship to the planet. However, we lost contact and they were left alone to, of course, create the colony and survive. So they're a military dictatorship. They have a civic, nationalistic zeal and a distinguished admiralty. And the ideologies of the people are xenophobe and fanatic militarist, completely different from the United Nations of Earth. Of course, the species is the same. For this episode, we're going to try and outlast the Lost using the United Nations of Earth version of mankind. I'm going to explain a little bit what we are going to see in the screen after we begin, of course, just to make it more easy for people that do not know this game very well to understand. This is the screen that welcomes us when we start a new game in Stellaris. It's basically our origin and everything that defines our civilization, let's say. You can also create a custom one if you want, and here you can have your own story written and write whatever you want. Let's say that we start for now. Usually you begin only knowing where Sol is, which is our starting location. But in this mod, we have an advanced start, which means that we have a couple of planets more, as you can see here in the frontier sector, 2 more. So what are we watching basically? This is our planet. If we click on it, you see the panel, the districts are here, housing and also commerce. Industrial districts, I will say what they do. Generator districts, they produce energy. Mining, it's minerals, so it's pretty straightforward. And agriculture, which is food. And here are also our buildings for research, commerce, and basically anything that you can imagine. Here is our energy credits, our minerals, food, our consumer goods, which is, let's say, I imagine that it is a telephone or a laptop. Here are our alloys. We use them to build starships. Our influence, which is used basically to claim on other star systems. This is our unity, our tradition, values, and stuff like that. Our research, we have our strategic resources. There are lots of them, as you can see. Our empire size, our envoys, and of course our population. And this little number right here is our starbase capacity, and here is our naval capacity. These notifications say that we do not research anything in their physics, technologies, society, and engineering. If we press it, we open this tab. I'm going to start with a research speed plus 5% because it is important to start researching fast. Of course, pop growth is really important as well. And here we have three choices: faster ships, ships with more armor, or better guns. I'm going to go for faster ships. If we press this map, the galaxy one, we go up here, that we see everything basically. Here are the lost. Keep in mind that I am using a mod that changes how the galaxy looks like. I'm going to write it down on the description of the video because I do not remember exactly what it is called right now. Apart from that, we have our shipyard. Shipyard here is the trade hub and our crew quarters. We have the civilian ships, construction, and science ship. When we begin, we want to scout as fast as we can. So we need a lot of science ships. This is something that applies to every single game of Stellaris. We need a lot of science ships to start exploring and surveying the surrounding systems. If we do that, we can expand. So let's give the order right now and start building another science ship. There is also our leader tab right here. We have the governors that govern the sectors. As you can see here, the sector is only Earth for now because it is not connected to the other planets. This is a species panel. It has everything. We can even set the rights if they can be citizens. What are their living standards, the military service, everything. Factions, these are political factions. We have none for now. Here is our technology, our fleet manager. I'm going to spend a lot of time on this little panel because from here we can create our fleets and we basically tell to the game what every single fleet is going to have. Our ship designer is right here and it's really nice. There are lots of things to do here as well. We have our society management, which is our traditions. After we gather enough unity, we can pick a tradition. If we finish a tradition, we get an accession perk. I'm going to explain it as it goes. Our edicts are basically buffs that we have to pay for. Our policies, our diplomatic stance, our war philosophy. As you can see, everything is right here. If you want, you can change some things. For example, right now I am an expansionist. This means that I am going to develop my colonies faster and build my outposts cheaper. After that, we can change it according to what we are going to do. Our expansion planner shows every single planet that there is, that we know of, and we can colonize, or we cannot colonize. As you can see here, the habitability is 0% for humans. These are our planets and sectors. If you want to not mess at all with your planets, you can just use this one and it's going to do everything, the AI. Here is our market. For now we have an internal market because we have not met anyone and there is no community. Our situation log. Here is our contacts. We only load the lost. For some reason they like us. At the beginning of playing with this mod, it's going to ask you what relic you're going to get. It has a passive effect and an active effect. I'm going to start with the Cyberx Warforged because it adds a monthly alloy production of plus 5%. And off we go. For now, I'm not going to have a leader on our first fleet. There's no reason right now to do it. I know there are lots of things that there are to explain the game, but it's really difficult to explain it if you take into account that there are lots of DLCs and a new player is not going to have all of them. I picked Discovery because it is going to help us survey the systems that surround us. Unfortunately, a couple of patches ago, they changed some things and now the leaders are to be recruited using Unity. I'm not used to it still, because I have been playing this game since the version 1. It was a really different game from now. This is the event of the first league. They are the precursors, basically the first intelligent life in our part of the galaxy, or that at least we know of. If you want, you can pause and start reading a little bit about this message. I'm going to just say interesting and start the event.
Situation log has been updated.
We have found a comet, plus 5% happiness. So basically now it is asking us what our first contact protocols are going to be. Since we are xenophiles, we are going to say greet the xenos with open arms, and if we can, we're going to make a federation. So far so good. In the current systems there are no natural wormholes or anything that can connect us with the center of the galaxy, or there is something there, maybe there is, we shall find out, or here. For now we're just going to get the Barnard star and connect our territory. These little numbers here are the trade value. Since they don't have a connection with our capital, we don't get any of it. The trade value is earning us energy credits, and there are some things that you can change in order to get something else. For example, energy credits and Unity.
Anomalous readings registered.
Now that we have in our society management the data bank uplinks, you can see that we have unlocked the edict research subsidies. If we go here to edicts, we can see it, research subsidies. It lasts until we cancel it, and we get a research output, researcher output, not research, plus 10%. But we do have to spend more money for upkeep of the researchers. That's not a problem. We could do it right now, but we don't have the Unity. When we get it, of course, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to explain a lot of things about starship combat, because in the next update,
construction completed.
They are going to change everything. We saw that there is a natural wormhole in the Oslipe system. This means that they can spawn from there. So I'm going to fortify it with a space station, and I'm going to add another one here and here in Barnard Star and Tropos. We do have a lot of time still, till we have to prepare our defenses, but we have to keep in mind that we need to find the choke points.
System survey concluded.
In order to keep them at bay. Here it is not really difficult to see where our choke point is going to be. It's pretty straightforward. We have our own constellation, and this is the single link with the outside world. This is our outpost in the Oslipe system.
Research concluded.
And there you can see that we can colonize that planet.
Evasive maneuvers.
Unfortunately, we have found a lost garrison fleet here on Yonox Mo, and we do have to have a stronger fleet
System survey concluded.
in order to defeat them and push through. But we don't have currently a fleet that is strong enough. So I'm going to return everything. And when I say everything, I mean the science ships.
Knowledge is the key
Back to our own systems and assist the research done on our planets.
Construction completed.
So here on our front line outpost, which is now a station, we're going to get a module to build. We can build a gun battery, missile, trade hub, anchorage, or shipyard.
Completed.
What we're going to do is build batteries to defend ourselves. And the module of disruption field generator, because they are going to have a debuff of minus 20% shield hit points. I don't know if they are going to use shields,
Construction completed.
but usually the enemy does, so maybe they will too.
Red alert. Spaceport under fire.
They have already attacked us. That's really weird. I'm going to assign a leader real quick. As you can see, they have their own traits, skill, which is basically their level, and their age. The age is important, because here you can see that since the age is under 80 for our species, they have 0% chance of dying. So we have to keep that in mind. However, our space station is more than capable of destroying this corvette. And since it is capable in doing that, we are going to just reinforce our corvette fleet that we have, in the hopes of managing to break through this system. Now, if we destroy this corvette, it's going to leave some parts that it had on it behind. And these parts we're going to study by using our science ship, and we're going to get the technologies that they use as an option to research. This is a button to reinforce our fleet, split it, transfer the ships to some other fleet. If we want to make a mercenary enclave, it doesn't matter for us. And if we want to upgrade it right here, let's upgrade them also. Here is our orbital bombardment stance, how much we want to bombard the planet, basically how much do we care about its infrastructure and people.
Interstellar debris analyzed.
As you can see, we analyzed, we have a bunch of technologies
Knowledge is the key
right
to
here,
the universe.
with a plus 10% progress, which is really good. And here is the fleet stance, passive and aggressive. The aggressive means that they are going to hunt every single enemy fleet on the same star system. And that's what we're going to use. So because we have the ability to pick the improved deflectors, and as you can see, 10% of the cost has already been given to us, it means that they are actually using shields, or at least the one that came. So that's good to know. However, for now, we're going to just increase our research station output, and after that we're going to get new weapons for our ships. For the next tradition, I'm going to pick the unyielding tradition, since we are going to bunker down in our territory. Probably we're going to have a frontier outpost here and here if we manage to reach it before the other
Research
empires
concluded.
do. Did I mention how beautiful Stellaris is? Here you can see a black hole. Look at the view. It has one of the most beautiful visual effects in the gaming industry. There are even more garrison fleets of the Lost as we managed to push through the Yonox Maw. Right next to it there are more, so it is a problem. Maybe we are stuck here and we are not going to find any other empire. Seems like there are aliens nearby. I'm going to have to send our envoys
A new world of opportunities
in order
awaits.
to find a way to communicate with them.
Construction completed.
The first aliens we found are the curators. They are helping us with research, that's what they do.
Interstellar debris
And the curators
analyzed.
have star
System
bases like
survey
this all over the
concluded.
galaxy. We found our first alien empire that exists right next to us. They are honor-bound warriors, an assembly of clans. We are friendly, so we're going to greet them as a friendly nation. They're right here. I don't think they are going to be friendly with us, but we're going to be anyway.
Construction completed. Construction completed.
The Lost just started sending their first fleets. We managed to destroy their fleet without any assistance required by our station, so it's fine.